Welcome to this edition of SKNIS Week in Review, a program highlighting the top stories of the work of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for the past week. Here's a look at some of the highlights for the week of August 13th to 19th, 2021. 2021 New Year's awardees officially awarded. Health authorities emphasize danger of complacency as COVID cases rise. Warner Park ready to host CPLT 20, and Overworldberry project nears completion. I am your presenter, Sherima Matthew. 8 distinguished citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis who were announced on New Year's Day by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris for their contribution to nation building were officially invested with Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II New Year's honors on Thursday, August 18th at Government House. The awards included the Companion of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George, CMG, which was awarded to Cabinet Secretary Mrs. Josephine Huggins for her contribution to public service. Officer of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, OBE, was awarded to Her Honor Mrs. Hyalita Liebert, MH, Deputy Governor General for Nevis, for her input to public service, as well as to Athiel Rollins for his involvement in public service and land surveying. The Queen's Police Medal, QPM, was awarded to Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy for his role in policing and leadership. The Member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, MBE, was awarded to Mrs. Vinetta Laws for her participation in community service and business entrepreneurship, Mr. Colin D.A. Tyrrell for community service, Dr. Leroy Ernest Richardson for his role in medicine, and Dr. Analdo Bailey for his contribution to financial services. Prime Minister Harris congratulated the honorees, noting that they served the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis well.
These honors also serve, in my view, as a powerful example for others in our community that we can hope for a better future, and any one of us has the power to make that future happen. Our recipients today heard the call to service, and they answered it, and they serve extremely well.
The CGM is the 6th most senior in the British honours system. It is awarded to persons who have rendered important services to the Commonwealth of foreign nations. The OBE is bestowed upon an individual for playing a major role in any worthy activity. The MBE is bestowed upon an individual for hands-on service that has yielded significant community impact, while the QPM is bestowed to an officer of any rank for acts of courage and conspicuous devotion to duty. 8 exemplary nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis were invested with the Medal of Honor, having been chosen for the 2020 National Honours Awards for their exceptional contribution to nation building at an investiture ceremony held by His Excellency the Governor-General Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton on Tuesday, August 17th, 2021 at Government House. The Medal of Honor was awarded to Mrs. Pearline Theresa Mussenden for her contribution in education, Joseph Emmanuel Benders for his involvement in the arts, Dr. A. Linton Liebert for his role in medicine, Mrs. Patricia Mary Nurse Clark, and Charles Delvin McMaster for their participation in community service, Mrs. Pamela Elaine Brooks, nursing, and Dr. Judy Nisbet and Brian Dyer for national service in crisis. Dr. Linton Liebert was unable to attend the ceremony. However, he will receive his medal from Her Honor Mrs. Hyalita Liebert, Deputy Governor General for Nevis, at a separate ceremony. Prime Minister Harris said that the awardees are deserving of such honor as they have shown that service should be embraced and not avoided.
The 8 outstanding nationals that have been invested with the 2020 Medal of Honor by His Excellency the Governor-General or all each deserving. The Medal of Honor is one of the two highest civilian honors that the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis bestows on its sons and daughters. We present these medals to honor those who go above and beyond their call of duty. This Medal of Honor is an acknowledgement that the recipient truly has put country above self. Today's recipients have more than demonstrated this virtue. They are deserving of the honor, and they are deserving of our gratitude.
The honorees were awarded in keeping with the National Honors Act, number 19 of 96. The National Honors Act provides for the Companion of the Star of Merit, the Medal of Honor, and the Order of National Hero to be awarded to any citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis who renders distinguished and outstanding service to the nation. Mr. Imani Samuel, a third form student of the Rothschilds High School, was announced the winner of this year's Independence 38 theme competition, making it 2 consecutive years that a high school student has won the competition. The winning theme, Adapt, Diversify, Recreate, Independence 38, was selected by the Federal Cabinet from 150 submissions. The criteria for theme selection stated that the theme must be concise, memorable, a phrase, a clause, or a short sentence of no more than 6 to 8 words, focusing on national wellness and economic rejuvenation. An internal rhyme scheme and a pattern of rhythm would enhance the theme. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis will be celebrating its 38th independence anniversary on September 19th, 2021. Health authorities in St. Kitts and Nevis are strongly encouraging citizens and residents to remain vigilant against the COVID-19 virus as the number of confirmed cases are rising daily. Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Medical Chief of Staff of the Joseph Nathaniel France General Hospital, gave updated figures of the local COVID-19 situation on the August 17th edition of Leadership Matters. He reported that the Federation has now recorded 708 cases to date, with 590 recoveries, 115 active cases, 3 deaths, and 6 persons currently hospitalized. The Medical Chief of Staff assured that health officials and the government will continue to work assiduously to contain the deadly virus.
Containing the virus will require us to protect as many persons as possible with the best tool available to us. That tool is the vaccine, and with more than 4.72 billion doses already administered globally, leading to a significant decrease in hospitalizations and death from COVID-19, we know that it works.
He encouraged everyone who can receive a jab of a COVID-19 vaccine to do so to boost the population immunity threshold. Dr. Wilkinson added that the public education campaign and one-on-one engagements would continue to ensure that persons are armed with the latest scientific information to inform their decision. Figures from the Ministry of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis have validated the effectiveness of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine in protecting against the deadly COVID-19 virus. On Tuesday's August 17th edition of Leadership Matters, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson, Medical Chief of Staff of the Joseph Nathaniel France General Hospital, gave a breakdown of the confirmed cases of COVID-19 that have occurred since the start of the second wave in May 2021.
The analysis of the data in the current wave from May 19th to August 3rd shows that of 558 positive cases during that period, 81.5% of the cases were in persons under the age of 50, with 23.8% in the 0 to 19 age range and 42.9% in the 20 to 39 age group. 248 cases, or 44.4%, were unvaccinated adults. 113, or 20.3%, were children who could not be vaccinated. And 101, or 18%, were persons who were partially vaccinated. Only 70, or 12.8%, were fully vaccinated.
He noted that key takeaways from the figures reveal that younger persons are now being infected with COVID-19. This is in contrast with the small numbers registered in the early months of the global pandemic. Also, the vast number of confirmed cases were not fully vaccinated. This puts persons who are unable to receive the vaccine at greater risk from the virus. Director of the Public Works Department, George Gilbert, announced that the Overworldberry Rehabilitation project nears completion. In an interview in Overworld on August 19th, Mr. Gilbert addressed the reason behind the project, stating that the goal of the government is to modernize and continue to improve the public infrastructure of the Federation.
One of the things we are trying to do also, we are trying to develop the road network such that whenever there is, let's say, a category 1, a category 2, or maybe just a normal storm, that the traffic can still flow. The essential services can still go, the nurses can still go to work and come from work, the policemen, the soldiers, etc., can still traverse the Island Main Road. So what we are doing, we are putting the Island Main Road in a position where it is accessible at those critical times.
Currently, the road is paved. However, Skilek is placing the ducts for the installation of lighting. The Cable Company Limited is also placing the ducts to run fiber optic lines, and guardrails on the seaside will be installed when the contractor completes the sea defense work. The new road was extended on the reclaimed land approximately 24 feet apart from the existing road. It was also elevated to some 15 feet above the current road and have guardrails on both sides. The seaside protection includes strong rock armoring featuring large 10 and 20-ton boulders. The rock design is similar to the protection at Port Zante, the main port for cruise ships in St. Kitts. The Warner Park Cricket Stadium in St. Kitts is ready to host the Caribbean Premier League CPL T20 tournament. The Caribbean Premier League CPL begins its 2021 tournament next week, August 26, with all 33 matches being hosted at the Premier Cricket Facility in St. Kitts and Nevis. Several renovations were made to the stadium to allow for greater comfort by players, officials, and fans. The work included the repainting of the stands, refurbishment of the players' dressing rooms, and upgrades to the field. Minister of Sport, the Honorable Jonelle Powell, toured the cricket stadium on Thursday, August 19th, to assess the changes.
I'm very pleased to see just how this venue is being transformed for the CPL T20 tournament 2021. The field is just looking magnificent. I can't wait to see the players' faces when they come out and they see the field at Warner Park for the first time in about 2 years. Would have been the last time that they were here. We are looking at providing a first-class international venue for international sports, and you can count on Warner Park to do just that.
Minister Powell said that St. Kitts and Nevis is ready to welcome fans, officials, and players for the exciting 2020 cricket tournament. The CPL T20 tournament runs from August 26th to September 15th. Fully vaccinated fans will be allowed to attend the matches. The Intellectual Property Office of St. Kitts and Nevis, IPO-SKN, is partnering with the World Intellectual Property Organization to host a webinar on the topic Leveraging Intellectual Property in the Sports Arena. Jihan Williams, Registrar at the Intellectual Property Office in St. Kitts and Nevis, has more.
We will be looking at sports and IP, like the why and the how. Why is it important for us to even think about sports and IP? We'll be thinking about athletes as brand ambassadors. You know, what are the issues that are associated with that? How do we, commercialize the fact that we may use our athletes in, as digital brand ambassadors or Flow or whatever the business venture.
The webinar, which will be held on August 24th and 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon daily, will cover several other topics, including sports marketing, sponsorship and IP, branding for athletes and national teams, sports tourism and country branding, as well as broadcasting and media rights and live streaming. Jehan Williams, Registrar of the Intellectual Property Office of St. Kitts and Nevis, said that it is important to protect intellectual property rights as they are valuable assets for any business and are critical to reaping the benefits from your creations.
It's so important because protection equals control. And once you protect something and you have the rights, once you protect your intellectual property rights, you have the right to control how it is used, when it is used, who could use it. You develop the terms and conditions of use. Without protection, let's say for example of trademarks, your trademarks have to be protected in order to get, your trademarks have to be registered, in order to get protection for them.
Ms. Williams used sports as an example, noting that IP rights provide the legal framework for the sector. She reiterated that it is important to protect IP and trade secrets as the aim is for persons to gain control of their work and prevent others from wrongfully profiting from their creations or inventions. That was the SKNIS Week in Review for August 13th to 19th. I am Sherma Matthew. See you next week as we continue to update you, the general public, on what's happening in and around the Federation.